Let's go to Mary, who's calling in from Tennessee. Mary, what's your question for Pastor Adriel?
Hi, Mary, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, what's your question, sister?
Hi. My question is, I have heard, although I haven't read, but I have heard that the celebration of Christmas with Christmas trees is part of a pagan religion, and that it was done biblically years ago, back in Bible times, where people had idol worship to trees. And I was just calling to see if you can give me scripture and verse that will support that, or if that is just something that people say.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly throughout the Bible, idols were formed by all sorts of things, including trees. And in the prophets in particular, God often, rebuked the people because they'd cut down this tree, and then they'd use some of it to build a fire, they'd use some of it to build a house, they'd use some of it to build a quote-unquote God. And God would say, do you see how silly that is? How foolish that is. You guys are bowing down before this piece of wood in worship. And again, this is something, especially in the book of Isaiah. I've been thinking about Isaiah a lot lately. You do see God rebuking the nations of the world for their idolatry, and Israel as well for falling into this trap of idolatry, of pagan worship. Now, that's not the same thing as the cultural practice of having a Christmas tree. I don't think that you're committing idolatry because you have a Christmas tree set up in your home. I mean, I hope not. Now, if you were doing with your Christmas tree what the pagan nations were doing in the Old Testament by putting your trust in it and looking to it to bless you and praying to it and burning incense to it and so on and so forth, well, then that would be another thing. But that's not what people are doing. That's not what my family does, right? We decorate the Christmas tree. We have a great time. We drink hot chocolate, but it's not an act of pagan worship. And so I would just say, there are some people that want to draw that association and say, well, if you're celebrating Christmas or if you have a Christmas tree, then maybe you're doing something wrong or sinning. But I think that's going too far. That's just not the case. This is a fun sort of cultural thing that we do. It's not a matter of Christian worship, and it's not and should not be a matter of worship. The real paganism, I think, that we see around this time of the year in the United States is that lust for things, that covetous spirit, that materialism that can creep in around this time of year, that stress about, having more and doing more and so on and so forth. And so I think that's what we really need to watch out for, not having a Christmas tree per se. Mary, God bless, and Merry Christmas.